Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts Sunday. I'm Lisa Cunningham with LC Designs. In case this is your first time watching me, I am starting to come live every Sunday at 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time. I live in New Mexico, so it is Mountain Time. And then I also do a Workshop Wednesday live video at 6 o'clock p.m. right here in the same spot. So I'll either be on my Facebook page and then later on onto my YouTube page. So did you grab your cup of coffee? Today I have my cup that's got me and our dog that we no longer have. He was the best dog ever. Got my coffee ready to go. We are going to do 3 projects today, and they're all very simple for you to replicate. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we get started, I want to remind you that I have my Adventure Together class. Registration is now open. So in this class, you're going to make 4 cards and a box. Here's one of the cards. Here's another. That's a fancy fold. Here is another and another fancy fold. Well, it opens. And then the box. This is a good sized box. You can fit quite a bit in here. I put a package of hand warmers and toe warmers that we definitely use when we go camping, because sometimes, we're not sure what the weather is going to be like. You could have very nice days, but very cold nights. So this class will include all of the projects, all of the elements to make these 5 projects, a package of the Shades and Hues Designer Series paper. This is one that we had before, but Stampin' Up! Changed the colors on it, so I wanted to use it in this class. You'll get a package of the Regal dots and a spool of the Petal Pink ribbon, along with the PDF tutorial that gives you the step-by-step instructions on how to make it. You will need the Adventure Together bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. And the dies cut out all of these different elements. So if you want to add this, you could add it for $42.25. I'll pay for the tax and shipping from Stampin' Up! And add it in your class kit. And if you do add this, you get to pick a celebration item. So when you register, you can choose your celebration item. So for this whole kit here, it's $55, and it includes the priority shipping plus a little gift from me. And then if you add this, it'll be an additional $42.25. And then if you want just the PDF tutorial, it's $15. So just a reminder, my registration will end on February 22nd. So I have it open for a couple of weeks. All right, get that out of the way. So then if you want my coffee and craft projects that we're making today, just spend $35 in my online store and I will send you the PDF for the projects and the materials to make all 3 projects. 6, I don't know where I got 6 from. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one. And this is another designer series paper that Stampin' Up! Came out with and then changed the colors. And this one is called Serene Love. So it has Lost Lagoon, Night of Navy, and Old Olive. And we're going to use our blender pens and the designer series paper to make our card. You can see I cut out the flowers. Some of the flowers I already cut out. These ones I guess I forgot to cut because I didn't want you guys to sit here and watch me have to cut them. But let's go ahead and start with our pocket card. This is going to be oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is going to be 8.5 by 5.5. So let's go 5.5. And then we already know that this is 8.5. And we're going to score this long side at 2 inches and 6 inches. And this is just going to make our pocket super easy. Score, burnish our lines. Burnish our lines. And we are going to add tear and tape to the bottom here. And you want to kind of get it as close to the edge as you can. And then, which one are we're going to fold over? This shorter one. And because then it'll give you more room to fit your inside pieces in your pocket. So this will go over like so. And then this one, if I could get my backing off, will go right over like so. And there is our pocket. This is already all adhered. Okay, so now to decorate it, we're going to use this stripe pattern. And I think I might have cut it the wrong way. My stripes are going this way, and these ones, I can grab this. Let me see. We need a 3 7/8. 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. 5 3/8 piece of the Designer Series paper. Won't come off of mine. And I already forgot to do something, but hopefully we're going to be able to do it, as I didn't cut my notch out. So we probably should have did this prior to making the pocket. But you know me, I'm always forgetting something. I'm only human. So you can use any punch that you have. If you don't have a circle punch, you can use a, let's see if this is gonna squeeze in there. I think it's too big. You can use a die. So since I forgot, we can just, should we try and do a little, well, I'll work on that. We'll figure out how we're going to make that. But you need to punch this definitely prior. Oh, wait. There we go. There we go. But you should probably put your DSP first and then punch your circle. So now we're going to need a piece of Misty Moonlight. And it is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So let's go 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And we are going to layer a piece of basic white onto it. So then the basic white is going to be 5 1/8. And remember, you order, I'll give you the PDF with all the measurements for this card. So 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. So you won't have to memorize all of these. Move this. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to here. And I can't remember if I stamped on the inside. You know, I created these a few weeks ago, so trying to stay ahead of the game on all of my projects. Let's see, did I stamp? No, I did not stamp on the inside, but we are going to get just a standard hole punch. And we will add some ribbon. So just in the center, punch a hole. I just already happen to have this piece, but it's white ribbon. The ends are frayed. Not sure why I have this piece already out, but we're just going to cut a little piece, get my ribbon scissors, and then we're going to use some gold trim to tie our bow. I'm going to go ahead and trim this already. So like I told you guys before, I always have to do mine backwards so that my bows come out the right way. Not sure about that. I try to tie bows with the 2 loops and I just can't. It's funny how we all do things differently. Whatever's easiest for us. Tie that. I'm going to tie that. Tie it and then tighten it. And there we go. I think I need a drink of my coffee. Are you guys like me and you have to have your coffee first thing in the morning? Because I sure do. I have to have mine. It's the first thing I do when I come downstairs, make my coffee. And then I end up in my craft room. And that's how coffee and crafts became. All right, let's trim that. I do been starting to drink tea at night. So then there is our pocket card. So we're gonna add a piece of Misty Moonlight, which is gonna be 1.5 by 4. So let's cut the 1.5 by 4. And I just wanted to add a little element on top of there. On top, you could actually emboss this and give it more texture. I'm thinking and talking at the same time, so I lost my train of thought for a minute. So we're going to use this ribbon again and tie it around our envelope or our pocket. Again, do mine upside down. Am I the only one that does that? Has to tie theirs upside down for it to be right side, right? Okay. This frayed ribbon, I really like it. And then again, you know, every time we have a white ribbon that you can color it with your Stampin' blends and make it whatever color you need. So I'm keeping it white, but I could have got my blends and colored it another color. Okay, so there is that. And now we're gonna do our flowers. So I just cut these flowers straight out of the designer series paper. So I believe, is this I cut out one with the 3. Like I said, I thought I had trimmed this already. So you're just gonna go around and trim, leave a thin border. I'm gonna try and do this fast since we have 2 other projects to make. And we are gonna use our blender pens. Have you guys used blender pens? And this is just to add a little bit of color to our flowers. In another project, I color them in a lot, all the way, I guess, and then I leave one just white. But we'll get to that. I'm gonna keep on trimming. You know, Stampin' Up! Does have some dies that cut out your stuff, some of your images in the designer series paper. But since this is a designer series paper that they came out with before and just revamped the colors, these don't have dies. There's not a stamp set or dies. So I probably didn't mention, that we're going to be using the Best Family Ever stamp set. I love, love, love this because you can customize your cards. So look at all the different family members, and then you're in my thoughts, happy birthday, congratulations, like a best ever bonus and wonderful. So we're going to use that. Okay, so enough of the chit-chatting. We're going to use Misty Moonlight. And you have a fine tip, I guess, and then you have a brush tip. Well, no, that one looks a little bit more finer. I thought there was a brush tip. They show it looking like a brush tip, but to me, it doesn't matter. But I'm just gonna get ink off of my my ink pad, and I kind of I always have a scratch paper and kind of take a little bit of ink, depending how dark. And we're just gonna, these ones, we're just doing the center. Look how easy it is to add some. So if I didn't, you know, dab it off first on my scratch paper, these would be a little bit darker. They'd come out dark. And you could tell on my other ones that I did a little bit darker. But these blender pins, you know, you can just add a touch of color wherever you want. Just like so. And we're going to do these ones. And this is just, like I said, we're just adding a touch of color to these flowers. You could color them all the way in. You can go darker, you know, just depending on the ink how much ink you put on. So look, that is it with this. And then so when I'm done, I always make sure that I just keep brushing all the ink off. You can tell there's no more ink on there. When you purchase the blender pins, you get a set of 3. So you will have 3 pins. Okay, so back to our project. So now we're just gonna add some dimensionals. I think I have allergies. I've been having a runny nose for quite some time. And I think our weather has been so crazy that I think I'm not putting anything towards the middle because of the ribbon, but I think my allergies are already kicking in. And we're just gonna put that right across like so. And then now we need some, we're gonna use Sister, and You're in My Thoughts. And I just used a piece of basic white, and I tried to stamp these. We are going to use the Misty Moonlight again. So I did re-ink these, so they might be a little bit juicy. I think I re-inked them, but I re-inked them all last night so that we had. So I'm just going to put this at the bottom. So whatever size piece you use, and then Sister. And we're going to center that between our sentiment. And you could put anything. You can put aunt, you could put grandma, grandpa, whoever. And then we are going to trim again. As you guys could tell, I don't mind fussy cutting at all. So I'm just going to trim this off here. And just trim. I always like to make like these little jags in here, like going around the letters. And you just move your paper and let your scissors do the cutting. Go around. You know, this is just easy peasy. And I like, some people, you can trace around it. You could trace around the words and then cut. But I just, because for me, I probably wouldn't get, I probably wouldn't trace, get around the lines. So this one we are going to need some mini dimensionals on the end because of the tiny words. And then we'll use a couple of regular dimensionals in the center. I was actually going to put one towards the top and one towards the bottom of the words. And just like so. And then just add that right there. And oh, we're not done. We need our antique pearls. And I love these pearls as well. There's so many nice products out right now. I mean, we always have good products, but I am especially fond of the ones that we have currently in the mini catalog, and especially since you could earn celebration items too with your purchase. And if you spend $35, you can also get all the materials for these 3 projects plus the PDF. Okay, so there is number 1. These were a little bit darker, but you can add some Wink of Stella and make them sparkle. Do you guys like the darker or do you like the lighter? I think I like the lighter. I got heavy-handed on these ones. But there's project number 1. Okay, so let me get all this out of the way. Got stuff everywhere. Okay, so for number 2, here is our project. So now see, this one I colored them all in, and then this one I just left it white. So I always have my measurements. Take all this off. So we're gonna do 4 1/4 by 11 again. Or this one's 4 1/4 by 11. 4 1/4. I always have my trimmer Cricut. So 4 1/4 by 11. And then we are going to score it at 5 1/2 to fold it in half. And let's get our die cutting machine because we are going to die cut a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 cardstock to make our frame that our flowers are going to go into. So this one we're using the second to the largest. So just kind of center it, put it somewhat down, trying to center it. I think that's even, trying to see the sides. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to cut that one. Well, now, move that aside for a moment, and we're going to use a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock, and we're just going to cut out that frame that's going to go around it. So we're using the largest to the second largest, and try to even that all the way around, and that's going to be our frame that we're going to glue onto our frame. Excuse me. I better grab my coffee and take a drink. And just save this for another project. Okay. Get that out of the way. And here is our frame. Okay, let's go ahead and burnish this. And this is going to get adhered with dimensionals. But we're going to stamp first. And with this one, we're going to use Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to do Cousin and Happy Birthday. So to be honest, this one I added because I made a boo-boo. I put my sentiment I felt too high. So I taped over it. You could see it's way high. So we want to put this more down. You can actually put your frame on there to kind of see where you want. Look, whoa, you could tell I re-inked that. And so we're not going to use that banner. Whoa, that's really juicy. I guess I should have took some off. So now I might have to use a banner to try and fix that. So you know, that's how you always fix a mistake. So we'll probably use a banner. And then cousin, whoa. So yeah, these are juicy. I did re-ink them. I'm going to stamp off a couple of times just to kind of get a fill. And then we're going to put cousin over here. Wow. So we'll use a banner. We'll cut it out in a minute. I'm going to have to grab that die. So let's go ahead and glue our frame on. Like I said, that's how you cover up boo-boos. It's either you add an embellishment and you add some ribbon. I had to add a banner since I had stamped the sentiment. Okay, my glue's like barely coming out. So we'll add our frame right around our circle and let that glue. Can't believe it. I should have known better. Oh, so we can go ahead and put this on with our dimensionals. And I did not think that they were going to be that juicy. Put a couple around the circle. So again, we're going to use our blender brush or blender pins. I don't want these to get mixed up with sorry, I'm trying to think and concentrate, and I don't want them to get mixed up with our blending brush. Why can't I think of the name of the pins? Or Stampin' blends. Gosh, I couldn't even think of that. Okay, so these ones, the flowers, I did already cut out. So this one is going to be the one that goes right here at the bottom. And we got to make it fit so it doesn't hang off. So this one we're going to glue on. So I did trim these, and again, these just came out from the designer series paper, so you can pick whatever flowers you want. I'll put that right like so. Okay, so this one we're going to use the blender pen again. So not Stampin' Blend. You could use Stampin' Blends, but again, I'm going to... And this, pretty much this part, you're not going to see. You can color it all in. You can actually even put it all if you want. But these ones, I'm going to go a little bit dark and then work my way out and go light. I think I did go a little bit too dark on the ones that I already did. I wasn't 100% happy with them. But we're going to go dark and then branch out and try and go light. Oops, did I miss my ink pad there? And then just go light. Oops, see, I messed up again. That's probably why I ended up going darker. This really does pick up a lot of ink. Let's go dark over here and then bring in the light. Dark. Hopefully I'm not hitting the camera. I'm so glad you guys have been able to join me for this new Coffee and Crafts segment. I think I'm gonna have to start taking some allergy pills though. I didn't realize how much my nose has just been running. I just kind of thought, oh, you know, but like I said, our weather has been changing. So these are kind of like a Stampin' blend, so to speak, where you could, you know, they're blender pens. We had these before the Stampin' blends. You just blend, blend, blend. The only thing with these is you have to be careful, is you can't stay in one spot too long, because you could, the paper will start to shred because there is liquid in the pen. Try to fix this. But your paper, I mean, if you use watercolor paper, you'll be fine. But if you're using a thin type of paper or something, it starts to shred. Okay, this one's taking a little bit longer. You know what, I'll shade these in so maybe it doesn't look so so bad. I feel like I keep hitting the camera. And again, you know what, we're not going to see this bottom part here. So I think I am just going to finish these off. We're not, you can, yeah, I should put it more like this so you can't see where I kind of messed up. See how it goes to try and create, you change as you go along. Like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Okay, I'm not happy with that at all, so I'm going to try and cover that up. So what I did is I stuck mine in like so. So look, we can cover it up, but I did, when I did it, I put it like this. So it still gets covered up. Yeah, I'm not happy with that at all. But we're going to put it on with dimensionals. Oops, that flower, we didn't need it anyway. But you just, blender pens, you kind of need to take your time too. I'm over here trying to rush because of the video. So we're going to stick this back in there and we're going to put it like, just like so. Perfect. And there is that. So let's fix this, but first we're going to put a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white on the inside. And there you go. And we're going to stamp that over again. Let me grab my banner die, because this one, I can't never get these unstuck from my magnet. Okay, so we're gonna, so as you notice, we're using the Stylish Shape dies, my faves. I use these pretty much for everything. Okay, so what am I doing? I need my die cutting. Well, should we stamp it first to make sure that it's not all goopy again? It's not all juicy. Like I said, when I re-inked them, I didn't think it was going to be that juicy. But they were all pretty dry. Okay. But again, this is how you cover up a boo-boo. That one I just don't like the way it looked. It's way too juicy. Happy birthday. I die cut it. Do you all have this stamp set? This is like one of my, like I said, one of my favorites, just because you can personalize it. and make it for whoever you like. The next one I have that we're going to do is for an ant. So let's add some dimensionals, and we're going to put that right over the boo-boo. Right like so. That's how you cover up a boo-boo. And we are going to get our pearls again. And I just wanted to put some right around the frame. Since I kind of covered this up, you can just put them. Is that good, or should we put, let's put 2 on this side. It's a little bit different than what I did on my original. And we can put a bigger one here. And that is our card. We just need to add our bow. So where's that white ribbon again? Make a bow and stick it on there. I'm not sure why I had this piece out. Okay, I want this bow to kind of be small, not so big. Not a big bulky bow. And get the mini glue dots. And add that on there. Oh, I covered, well, let's put it, that's why I didn't have pearls on this side. You can go another, put it right there. And there you go. There is card number 2. These flowers are sticking out way more than these ones. See, this is kind of cut off. But there you go. You took up more of the frame on this one. But there's card or project number 2. Now, here's project number 3. I am going to clean these real quick because you know me, I'll stick my hands in them or something, or my basic white piece of cardstock will fall on top of it. Done that several times. Okay, so this one is our ant one, the best ant ever. I only have 2 ants left. One is actually my mom's sister-in-law, and then the other is my dad's sister. So I only have the 2 ants. So this one we're going to do 5.5 by 8.5 old olive. So 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score that at 4.25. And we're gonna need 5.25 by 4 cardstock. So let's go 4. This one, it kind of doesn't matter because they're dots. So if it was a pattern, you'd have to pay attention to how you're gonna cut it. And I think that's it for now. So let's burnish this. And we'll adhere this. And this is the back side of the paper that we're gonna use. So on our square, again, we're gonna use the stylish shapes. Whoa. Okay, now we're gonna need we're gonna cut the stylish shapes square. And so you wanna position it on your paper where you're gonna get the most flowers, I guess you could say. So let's bring this back out. You know, you could put it anywhere. It's whatever you want to color in. I'm going to grab this bunch right here, like so. And we'll cut that. And that's going to be our piece that we're going to color in. So as you notice that these are all monochromatic. I've used all the same color. My pen here, I forgot to get all this Lost Lagoon out. But you just keep wiping it. You can use like a baby wipe. I get a baby wipe sometimes. I do have them here in my craft room. So these we're going to kind of do the same and just add a little bit of color. Trying to go light. I don't want to go as dark as I did on the others. I think this kind of looked like there might have been a little bit of Lost Lagoon still in there. But you just want to add just a little bit of color to each of the flowers. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's whatever you think. I personally, I think I like just a little bit of color instead of all the color, like on the last card. But like here, I just added some little bit of color, nothing major. Just a little brush here and there, just to add some color. I went over the leaves a little bit and added some, like so. A little bit more. Let's add some more little brushes to these. Blender pens are really fun to work with, especially like if you were coloring in a black and white image. You know, you could really get more detail into your images by coloring them in. Yeah, just a little bit more color to these ones. But just always have your scratch paper around too, unless you want to start out dark. And how's that? I think that's good enough. So that's our blending there. So again, make sure you clean your pen out. I forgot to do mine last time. Now we're going to need a piece of 3x3 old olive. We're going to layer that. So 3 by 3. We're going to layer this on. And then we will put it with dimensionals. Okay, now my glue is coming out. Stick that on there. There. Okay, so now depending on the way that you want your flowers to go, you know, which direction, do you like that direction, that, I think, kind of hard to say. I think maybe this direction. So then we're going to put this on with dimensionals. So again, whatever direction you want to put your flowers, it all depends on how they're They're cut off of the designer series paper, but they're going all different directions. But, you know, in case you want them to look like they're up. So we'll put that right on there. And then now we need a piece of, look, I got a scrap piece of cardstock because I'm just going to die cut that banner. Grab off my magnetic sheet. I think this one will cut. If not, I have another piece. I think I measured it correctly and it should fit. And we are going to stamp Best Aunt Ever. So we need our old olive ink again. And what I did with this one, I stamped Aunt first because I wanted it to go towards the bottom. Whoa. Flying stamps. So in the center towards the bottom is Aunt and Best Ever. We'll go right above, centering it. I had tried to put them both on the same stamp, but there was too much of a gap. You know, trying to cut out a step. So there's Best Aunt Ever. And we're going to add that with dimensionals. So you need a couple of dimensionals. That one didn't come off. Put that right there. I almost thought my square was a little bit crooked. So we have the Bee Builder punch. And we're going to use that heart right there with the scrap piece of gold olive. We're going to get one dimensional. Put that dimensional on there. We're going to tuck that behind here. And our gold trim. My desktop is a mess right now. I got stuff everywhere. Hopefully you guys are just seeing what you need to see. You don't need to see all the mess. So we're going to tie a bow with this gold trim. I love this gold trim too. It is small enough, but it makes a impression on your cards because it sticks out. Glue dot. Add that right there in the center. And now we need our lovely pearls again. And I'm going to add, oops, where'd it go? It's stuck on a couple of pearls. And another one here. And let's put a big one down here. And we're not done. We're not done. We need a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of cardstock on the inside. Are there certain colors that you don't add a piece of basic white on the inside? You know, like me, sometimes it'll be like lemon lolly or petal pink, but then I feel like they're naked because they don't have it. So we're going to do happy birthday. So Best Aunt Ever and then happy birthday. So old olive again. Ooh. That thing was stiff. Looked like I still might have some ink on there. And let's do happy birthday. Hopefully this one is not juicy. It's nice and dark. Without putting my head in there, trying to make sure that I stamped it straight. And happy birthday. So that is, make sure I did everything. Yes. So this is our third project. So we have all of our projects for the day. You know what? I'm going to move this one. I feel like it's crooked, but I will fix it after. There's project number 3, project number 2, and project number 1. So thank you guys for joining me on Coffee and Crafts Sunday. Remember, if you want all the materials to make these 3 projects, just spend $35 in my online store, and you will also get the PDF for them. And I have all the products listed as well. All right, everybody, have a great week. See you on Wednesday. Bye.